Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Trina's Tip Tuesday. We're so glad to have you here today. We're going to be talking about safety in schools, especially here in Leon County schools. This is where we are. This is where my kids grew up. This is where your kids grow up. And I've got some of the best with me. We're here at Chiles High School. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to start rolling with some things that they do here to keep our students safe.
Awesome. Thank you, Trina. My name is JP Swope. I'm the assistant principal at Chiles High School.
And my name is Riley Bell. I'm the Dean of Students here at Chiles High School.
Thank you guys for being on because it's such a hot topic right now, keeping our kids safe. I know a lot of parents are hearing things in the news. We're hearing things on the news. Most of it is social media, which I know that means a lot of it's not true. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about what you do to keep our students safe here and some of the programs that you have that a lot of the parents won't know about, and how the parents will get more information about these programs if they're interested in them in their schools.
Sure. Well, thank
Okay.
you, and I appreciate you coming out to Chiles today to highlight some of those things. Our number one priority at Chiles and in Leon County schools is the safety and security of kids. From principals, assistant principals, teachers, that's number one. We want to make sure everybody's here, they're safe, they're secure, they're not burdened by the distractions of different things that can pop up, and we want them to be able to learn and be able to focus on the learning. And so we work very diligently to do that. There's multiple things we deal with on a daily basis, but one of the things we work on is really trying to keep the campus safe through just monitoring, patrolling of different security aids and personnel. We also have to look at people coming into the school. At Chiles, we have over 2,100 students, so you multiply that by 2, you've got 4,200 parents-ish, grandparents, all those types of things. There's a lot of people coming and going on Chiles campus, which is good. You want that. You want it to be a positive environment, but it also creates a security concern of monitoring those people that are coming in and on it. You want the right people on, and you want to keep the kids on and not let them go off. Sometimes they're supposed to, sometimes they're not. So you have all these different things that are going on, and our job, gets a little more dynamic and complex when you're trying to monitor that. But we work diligently to do that. Superintendent gave us 2 more personnel this year to be able to help monitor that on campus, as well as our points of entry, the different fences and openings that we have. We try to limit those points of entry the best we can, based on how the campus is set up. And so really it's just being vigilant in our monitoring of the campus. And Dean Bell does a great job he works directly with those people, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about what he does on a weekly basis with them to help the campus be secure.
So we currently have 5 security aids, and we have 3 main points of entry. So we have those 3 points of entry covered at all times by 3 of the 5 security aids. And then we have 2 other security aids walking the halls, checking the bathrooms, making sure the interior of the campus is safe at all times. So, but that's throughout the entire day. And the busiest times of the day are obviously at the beginning of the school day, during lunch, and then after school. So we have our security aids out at all times, monitoring the perimeter of the campus, and then also monitoring the interior throughout the whole school day.
Okay, so that's like a lot of the stuff that we did even when I was in school here. We had monitors that were constantly moving about, and they interacted with the students all the time.
Yeah.
Rocky Hanna was actually my monitor. I think he caught me skipping once. But he was my hall monitor.
Did he let you go, or did you get in trouble?
No, I think he let me go once, and then I got in trouble the second time. But then, anyway, that's a long story.
Okay.
So those were some of the things that we did back then, and that was 20-something years ago. So since that time, fast forward to 2018, and what are some of the new things that we do with technology today?
Sure. So, since 94, we were kind of talking about that earlier, is when the internet came, and then now we have so much social media, and we deal a lot with reality versus perception of things that are going on a fairly regular basis. Most recently, we had something that went around as there was some type of threat to the school. And when we get something in, whether it's reported by phone, by person, we have an app that we'll talk about here in a little bit about, anonymous alerts app. We are diligent in looking at that stuff immediately. And so even on the weekends. Last one we got was on a Sunday afternoon, and I immediately looked into it, contacted the family that it concerned, and we were, looking at the situation, determining if it was a threat to the school or if it was not a threat, unsubstantiated. And in this, there was actually no threat at all, and there was a different kind of concern that we dealt with. And so perception is a big deal with social media, because people will grab onto something and then it gets sent out to everybody. So I already told you we had 2,100 students.
Well, and perception is reality. It's just people, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and it can create concern.
Yes.
And I get it. I've got 3 kids, and so I know when I send them to school, I want them to be safe. And if there's a potential concern there, then I get that feeling, and we all get it because we all have kids. And so I guess the message that I want to get out through this whole thing is that we love your kids. We are diligent in dealing with things as they come up. There's not a perfect system, but we work very hard every time we know something. And so we preach, one of the programs I would say, or just a saying that we tell people: see something, say something. Mm-hmm. See something, say something. 2,100 kids gives us 2,100 set of eyes that know more than we do of what's going on. And so they're the front lines to let us know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And we tell the kids, we preach to them, make this campus what you want it to be. And we can help you do that, but we can't help if we don't know. And so one of the biggest things we work on is how can we know the most information. Mm-hmm. And so, you have anything you want to say about that?
No, that's how Anonymous Alerts is such a big help.
Okay, so tell us about some of the training that you do for teachers now.
Okay.
Because teachers used to be able to just come teach. Now it's so much more. That's just probably a very small portion of their actual
Sure. So,
job.
By statute we have to have drills, and in the past there was a lot of time fire drills was the big focus. And it's some number, 50, 60, 70 years that a child has died in a fire in a school.
It's because the drills are working.
The drills are working. Or the fact that we're not in little wooden schoolhouses anymore.
That could have something to do
that
with
might
it.
have something to do with it. So now we're looking at more like lockdown drills, partial lockdown drills in this climate, in this society today. And so we focus a lot on that, and they have to think as, what am I going to do if this happens? And again, there's no perfect way or situation, but in a worst case scenario, how would I respond to this, and try to help them be in that situation and think through, how do I protect my kids? Do I need to protect my kids, or do I need to go? Do I need to get out of this situation and we need to move somewhere else? Mm-hmm. And hopefully you don't get to the fight situation where you have to actually encounter and engage, a bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
In some way. The Deputy Emmons is very much involved here. He's our school resource officer, and he goes around regularly. He'll talk to teachers. He gives trainings. Our latest one was the active shooter trainings that he gives through the sheriff's department. But we're just recently we've helped them with some other things in their classroom, how they can barricade, how they can be out of sight, in a classroom when they do lockdown drills. But we try to give a more personal touch where we go and we walk and we talk and help teachers as they need it. The other trainings that we give are, if worst case scenario, something happened here on campus, 2,100 people. We have people that have seizures. We have people that cut themselves, that get hurt just generally every day, as people do. And so, not that they have to be the first responders, but that they have some first aid training. And so I'll let Dean Bell talk a little bit about our mobilized kits. And we've also had Captain David Kelly come out here, who is part of the, what is his actual title? He's a EMS first responder for the Sheriff's Department, part of the SWAT team, that type of stuff. But he came and taught some stuff on this.
So Mr. Burgess has purchased a mobilized kit for every building, top floor and bottom floor, and basically this is a first aid kit, but it also comes with an app for your phone. So if there is a student who needs first aid and you're not sure how to apply that first aid, you go to the kit, open it up, open up your app, and then it'll immediately ask you what is wrong with the victim or what is wrong with that student, and it'll tell you what to pull from the kit to apply aid to that student. And this is, we have, I'm not sure the total number, but every single building has one on the top floor and the bottom floor. So it's very convenient to have, and it could save a life. Because there's many times when you're in a situation you just don't know what to do, and this can help you through that process.
That's great.
So another cool part on that is we're going to send that app out to everybody in the community, so that they can have that, because we have a number, like I said, you've got 2,100 students, but another 4,200 plus of community members that will be coming onto campus, and they could be in a situation where they need that, or you just need that out in regular life.
Right. So is this information on your website? Does it go home with students to give to their families?
We're going to
or
we'll be sending that out via listserv out to all the community.
Okay.
And it's called Mobilized Rescue Systems.
That's great. I need one of those for my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the last thing that you wanted to tell us about? This
So-
is the coolest thing, and I know you wanted to say it for
Coolest
last.
thing, we've had it for a while. We've been, publicizing it for a while, but it's been probably one of the most vital things we have for school safety and helping students even individually or collectively, and that's called Anonymous Alerts. And so we have an Anonymous Alerts app, and it's an app that you can download at home on your phone. Anybody in the community has it. The username and password is Chiles HS. That's the username and password, Chiles HS. I'm sure Trina will put that somewhere on the Facebook underneath on this video. But you can get on there and anonymously send information to the school. And since its inception, I believe it was 2015, we're one of the only schools I think that are using it. We have probably 300 a year. And of those 300, about 80 to 85% of those are substantiated, which means those are real things that are going on. One of our concerns when we first got Anonymous Alerts app was, are we just going to get a bunch of junk? Is this going to be a waste of time? And it really hasn't been. It's been something that has given us information of things going on campus that we wouldn't have known. We've always had an open door policy, but kids didn't seem to always want to come in the door. And so we noticed kids are always right here. They're on their phone. And they felt more comfortable here. And so this was a way that we could allow them to communicate with us. I have the ability to communicate back and forth with them anonymously. So they hit us. I can reply to their message, and we can communicate back and forth. I can get more information. And so with that, we've had from there's no toilet paper in the top of the 700. To the risk of potential suicide happening that day with a plan and those types of things.
And you were able to intervene.
We were able to intervene, and that person got the help they needed, and now they're safe and still going to school and doing well. And so it's been a powerful, powerful tool that I want people to continue to use. It creates a lot of work on us, and we're constantly monitoring that 24/7. But it's good work, and it's worthwhile work, and it's work that actually keeps people safe and helps us have this campus in the way we want it, safe and secure.
And that system can be used at any school in Leon County, but it's mostly used here.
So it's something we bought specifically.
Okay.
We contacted.
So Chiles bought it, or Leon?
Chiles bought it.
Okay, gotcha.
Chiles bought it. Now, the state has Fortify Florida, and so that's another app that could be used, and anybody in the district, anybody in the city or state can use that if they have some type of concern. And there's a person at the district that they get that information, and then they would shoot that to whoever it would be pertinent to give to at the schools.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. So for more tips on real estate related topics, I know this may not seem real estate related, but our schools are like the groundwork of our community. It's all about our kids and keeping them safe. They're our future. So I really wanted to get this in on a real estate Trina's Tip Tuesday. And if there's any other thing that you want to talk about, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Post questions on here. I know that JP will be watching, and he will answer them for you. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.